is it cut out? We wouldn't know we should make a cut like that, but it definitely still has power.
I mean, it still made a fairly nice, smooth cut. It's just
That's the blade giving you, but I'll give it to you. I wasn't expecting it to bog me. So that.
Hey guys, Brian and Jeff with WorkshopAddict.com, and we have in front of us Metabo HPT's brand new 10-inch 36-volt corded and cordless sliding compound miter saw, model number C3610DRA.
easy for you to say.
That's Metabo HPT does have some interesting model numbers, but they do have some cool tools.
And it's nice that a lot of them nowadays accept the corded.
Any of their 36-volt tools will take their 36-volt transformer. 18-volt tools will not, but their 18-volt tools will take the multi-volt 36-volt battery.
Unfortunately, this miter saw did not come with the converter or a battery, correct?
No, at this time it didn't, but there are a lot of sales a lot of times where you buy a tool and you get to choose one, choose the other, and I think that's something they're trying to push for a little bit while they're new, and it works out quite well if you're finding sales. Mm-hmm. So this tool here to me stands out basically because of its ability to be corded or cordless, and that's huge in my mind because I don't want to have a ton of these batteries because they are a wear item per se.
But for job site use, you've got power 80% of the time. If you don't have it, you can still keep working with the battery.
And I like that. So we spent probably an hour just going in this saw, taking a look at it. How do you adjust it? What happens? We haven't physically used it yet, but we wanted to kind of learn it before we got into it and then walk you guys through it. There's a lot to it.
There's quick, simple, easy adjustments to make your saw 100%. I mean, ours came out of the box, a couple tenths off here and there, but it was very simple to get back where it's supposed to be.
And we had a long discussion of, do you adjust your miter saw? And how many percentage of people go through and grab one of these gauges or anything and make sure that their miter saw is good right out of the box?
Because a lot of people aren't going to notice a tenth of a degree here or there. Depending on, I mean, your professional trim guys, they might, but for the average consumer, I don't think you're going to notice that.
So if you're a DIY guy and you want better cuts, and you want to get to things that are more precise and you want to get perfect angles, get one of these quality angle meters or start working with different materials and check your saw because that's important.
Take a half hour and dial it in perfect. And then take care of it. Don't throw it around the back of your truck, whatever. Everything on here moves. And the more you throw it around, the more you beat it up, it's going to throw them angles off.
And learn what angles and what ways make good cuts on your saw, and it's going to vary depending on it and your saw. So we're done with that little rabbit hole. Let's move on to the saw. First, there's some quick specs that we can go over on this. It's a no load RPM of 4,000, which is right in the right area for what we see in a lot of other 10-inch miter saws. It has an arbor size of 5/8 inch. And let's kind of bring people in and show them the different things that it has with the lights and the bevels and the miters.
All right, starting out at the front, we'll take a look at our D handle. It does have a safety switch, so it'll still work left-handed. Pretty simple. We got a laser button and a backlight button.
The backlight is way in the back, which it doesn't create a good shadow line. Pop that guy up and put a piece of wood under it. So as far as a shadow line, it's not that you can see a shadow with the blade, but not a line like you would expect. The laser comes on and gives you more of that cut, and that laser can be adjusted for right or left side of the blade. The adjustments are kind of hidden up front here, so you kind of got to reach your hand through and or raise it all the way up.
Coming up front to our miter controls, this has all your normal detents. If you want to swing it without your detents, push that button in, it gives you free movement right to left. Push it again, brings your detent back, and you've got a lock on the front. Going into your bevel settings, release the bevel and the detent, rotates right to left for 45 degrees in either direction.
So this is where we have one of the adjustable points, and you can see here where we're hitting our 45 degree. Now if we pull this back, it will go to 48 degrees. You have to remove one of the fences to do it when you're beveling. So we just flip that guy back and we'll go to 45. The same thing is on the other side. It's right here. And you can adjust these Phillips screws to make this a little more tight if you would like to. Easy adjustments. If you want to adjust the detent for your 90, it's up in here with some Allen wrenches. Pretty easy to do.
Looking at the fences, they're very adjustable, slide really nice, solid, and pretty true right out of the box.
Not bad for what we're dealing with the slide. We've seen a lot worse.
And like I said before, they do have adjustments on the fence also. Coming up top, we've got a lock for our slide for transport and whatnot.
The bag that goes on here is easily taken off. It does have a detent right there that slides in. They want you to keep it in this area, so you have a choice, a little bit of moving it.
There is a depth of cut stop here. Just fold it down. You use your adjustment on the wing nut. And then for your lock down is right there.
The slide seems to be pretty sturdy also when we're moving it through, and we're getting very little head deflection when using the saw. Fences on both sides are pretty tall, and there is a tool that clips in place in the back of your fence on the right-hand side. Underneath here is pretty similar to most other saws. You can see how the detent works for your mitering. It is plastic. You do have another shoe in front that will give you a little bit more stability. And you can see the metal rod that's going down for your bevel that goes all the way to the back to lock everything in. You got more of the adjustments for your 45 degree down here, but it's just an aluminum cased that's all put together, and it looks pretty good. I think we got to get this guy in and figure out how it cuts. I think that's going to be the main kicker here. We've went through everything, so let's put it through some paces. That seems, it sounds good. So if somebody was listening on the other end and then you come in, you can hear the bog and you don't get as much of a, I mean, you get splinters on the cut, but I think film-wise, that's the hardest thing to show somebody is that, you know, this saw has power. So Metabo HPT was definitely not the first out with a battery-operated 10-inch miter saw, but out of all the 10-inch models that we've used, I think this one's probably the most smooth.
And quite possibly the most powerful.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's amazing. It's also probably the most efficient. As we went through cutting a lot of the 4x4s that we had sitting around, just playing around to get an efficiency test, maybe power test, all kinds of things. I assumed when we got to the end of that cut and we were switching over to power that we probably would have had 1 bar left compared to others.
We only use 1 bar.
Right, and we're talking about, I believe this is an 8 amp hour battery, which would be 4 amp hours in 36 volts. So that is true, 72 watt hour and 18 volt, I believe. Either way, yeah. So this is not like an 12 amp hour Milwaukee battery where it's absolutely huge. It is nice, larger, and heavy, but at the same point, it rocked it in the saw and pushed some great cuts through.
You know, cutting that 2x8 on a beveled 45, that took a lot of power and didn't touch it.
No, I was overly impressed with that cut. It's hard for us to go back and forth on what we can show on video and what you perceive on the other end. There's nothing like getting your hands on the saw.
Right. I mean, audio might show the sound of the saw, but you don't really get the feel of it, how much power it actually has until you get your hands in it.
And how fast you're pushing it.
Right.
And we tried to do a little test of that. I'm hoping it comes out so we can just plop it in and you can hear it and hear us talking. But it's definitely a great saw that just powered through everything that we put at it. In the saw blade that was on it, did some great cuts.
Yeah, right out of the box, it comes with a fantastic blade. That's not something we encounter with most saws. but it's a good blade.
Right, the laser seemed to work good when the light seemed to be on. Obviously that's all adjustable. The handle's very comfortable. The safety is like it's not even there.
No. And I didn't really notice when we were doing that beveled 45 on the 2x8 and we switched over to corded power, I didn't notice any difference in power at all.
We've seen that a lot with this multi-volt battery, and I think we've even seen it with the DeWalt before, where you might get more power with 2 batteries than you did with the AC adapter. But they did a great job with the AC adapter on the multi-volt tools, making sure that you're getting pretty much the same power. So it was close. Are we getting more off a battery, or are we getting more?
If I had to guess, I would say the battery had just a touch more power than corded, but
Neither one disappointed.
no, not at all.
Both, I think, exceeded expectations by a long shot. You could have put a blindfold on me and said that there were 2 multi-volt batteries in this saw while we were cutting, and I wouldn't have been surprised.
No. That was my first comment when I made the first cut, how surprised I was about the power and how smooth the operations were. It's a nice saw.
I think if you're out in the market looking for some of this stuff, I know a lot of us guys go red. We're like, hey, this is it. And, they're pushing out some great technology. Sometimes the first to it, we all love it. We all love everything about it. I'm really getting into this multi-volt stuff because it has a cord. I'm putting in a lot of money into a tool that I don't want to buy 2 and 3 times. And
Because your battery platform is discontinued or the batteries go bad?
Well, Red hasn't actually done that, but there's some other brands that have done that. But batteries going bad, I don't see that a lot in the Milwaukee side, but I think 10 years down the road, you're right.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? And we can always, as long as that transformer still works fine.
That's the other thing. We can always throw these away and plug the cord in, but how long is that going to last?
Right. It's not like you're just plugging in an extension cord, and
Right.
even then you still have electronics. The days of the 30-year-old miter saw, I think, are gone.
Unless you go 100% corded. And then there's still.
Yeah. The one thing we didn't talk about in here, this is a brushless tool. I don't know that we brought that up in the beginning, and we did push it with some quick cuts on the 4x4. Boom, 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 boom. And we had 0 issue with any cutting out of any sorts. We didn't see any overheating.
Even with that 60-degree cut.
Yeah, we went
It,
more. We probably did, 10 of those?
yeah.
Nothing. So it's a different experience over here with this saw that I don't know that we can actually physically show you on a camera. I would hope that if there are some of these set up that they could allow people to make some cuts.
My first thought when I walked in today and saw it sitting on the bench, like, no, another miter box or another miter saw. Until I actually got over there to use it, and it changed my perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a cool. Metabo HPT's combined some great things in whatever they're doing, and they've got some cool stuff coming out. And this 10-inch will not disappoint. So if you're in the market, check it out. We're going to leave a lot more in the description if you need some more specs and things that we didn't hit in this video. If you have questions, make sure you ask them down there. We always like to hear your comments. This video was done a little differently than we have in the past, just to try something else out. Let us know if you like that or hate it. I'm just trying to have some fun on this end of it, right? As always, guys, give us a like in the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your time. Have a great day.